and I'm even asking myself the same question, but what are the hesitations that why don't people seek this stuff out? We were talking about this before. Question. It's like, for me, I could just say, life gets busy, but I know I need to do these things. I need to set, a will up in place, what do you call them? Medical directives and insurance to make sure that, God forbid, if something does happen. I mean, if something happened to me 2 months ago, my family would be under a hell of a lot of stress right now.
There you go.
There you go. Hearing myself say that, it's like a no-brainer. I need to get on this. But why do people hesitate to do that?
Because when this podcast's over and you go home, you'll either forget about it or it gets pushed down in your priorities. And I wish I had the list in front of me. Out of college, I was a collector, a credit card collector over the phone for a big credit card company back in the day. And I remember seeing an old publication of people's priorities in their finances.
Okay.
Right? You got to keep a roof over your head.
Yep.
You got to feed your family. They got to have clothes, education. And I don't have the list, but paying your credit card and paying your insurance is down on the list because it's things you can cut out or put off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, in our business, we call adverse selection. My phone rings daily for people that have adverse selection, either in their health or their life situation. So what that means is, God forbid you have a health event. Okay? And let me give you an example. I watched my father have a heart attack at age 41 in the Perry Hall High School gym, refereeing the basketball game after mine. He was active like I was in coaching and running leagues. He lived till he was 64. But I was in 8th grade. It scared the you-know-what out of us.
Sure.
And he went out on disability for 3 months. Disability is a living benefit, just like critical illness is, long-term care policies are. You get paid while you're alive. If he would have passed away, that's the death benefit. Well, they didn't have the critical illness around back then. And nobody gets 100% of their pay returned to them if you go on disability. Nobody would probably work, right? It's always a portion of your pay. And for you and I being self-employed, we've got to buy our own disability policies. The crazy thing they taught me, it's not really crazy, it's corny.
Okay.
You're the incredible money-making machine, Tim.
God, I wish.
If that machine breaks while it's being repaired, while it's in the shop, the hospital, that is disability insurance. You're alive. If that machine goes away forever and never makes another dollar for your family, that's your death, your life insurance.
Yeah.
So getting back to your original point of permanent versus temporary protection, permanent policies never go away. Universal life, index universal life, the old whole life that our grandparents had.
Okay.
I have a whole life policy on my children that I bought when they were born. I'm in the business. Back then it was what's called a 20-pay whole life. You could pay 20 years, which is still around, and you're done. And it does nothing but grow over the years. There's 10-pay now. There's even single-pay policies where you pay once. Those policies, again, are permanent. So no matter what happens to you, my father having a heart attack couldn't get insurance after that. Okay? A different world back then in 1980.
Yeah.
Okay? But now we can insure most people from age 15 days old to age 85 to 89 here in Maryland. And insurance is regulated by the states, no matter what the product is. Your auto, your homeowners, okay? Thank God the federal government has stayed out of that. Unlike financial advisory, there's different organizations that regulate that. We're getting a little deep here.
Yeah, man.
And I'm really going off on a tangent on your question.
That's okay. I'm learning right now.
Yeah. So the point is, you've got to decide what's right for you and your family.
Yeah.
And you got to sit down and break it down. And when you put it into numbers, you look at it and it's shocking. And we don't get any healthier as we get older.
Right.
And rates only go up the older you get before you lock in. So if you get a permanent protection, universal life, index universal life, whole life, the rate is the rate for the rest of your life, no matter what happens to you health-wise.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever take it away. And those policies also build what's called cash value. Cash value is like a little side fund, a side bucket.
Okay.
It's essentially the insurance company paying you a dividend for you giving them a monthly fee, right? An automatic draft.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, what can you do with that? You can walk away, take the money and run, cash it out, take whatever that cash value is at that time. It takes years to build up to any significance, and walk away with it if you want. Okay, you're surrendering your policy, then you have no more life insurance.
Okay.
Or you can borrow against it, which a lot of people do. That's how a lot of people save for college for their kids. They'll buy a permanent policy, one of the ones I mentioned, put a lot of money into it over the years. Want to pay for your kids' college, want to buy them a car. You want to put a down payment on a house for them. You're borrowing against your cash value through the life insurance company. It's tax-free. Most life insurance, and I'm not a tax advisor, I have to say that, I'm not a tax attorney, but most life insurance products, they're set up properly, are tax-free to the beneficiary. No federal, no state, no local tax. Another reason to get it for your family.
Right.
In our business, I don't know if it applies to real estate as much, we always say, facts tell and stories sell. I can sit here like I'm doing right now and throw up facts all over you.
Yeah.
But I can also sit here and tell you stories like my father.
Right.
That gets to a little bit of the emotion we talked about. This is an emotional sale, but it's real. There's probably not one. We always say, I bet everybody in the country can say, I know somebody who's had cancer or died of cancer, right?
Yep.
You can probably also say, especially the older we get, I know somebody that passed away and their family was in a financial difficulty after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm in real estate. I see it a lot. A family member has, an unexpected death, and I see the pieces that have to be picked up after they pass away by setting up estates and dealing with who gets what and stuff like that. And I see it. Like I see the pain. I see the discomfort that people are going through. I'm empathetic to it, but to be completely honest, I'm not doing anything for myself yet.
That's right.
At some point, I gotta get on the ball.
It's the oxygen mask, right, from the airplane. You got to take care of yourself first and then help others.
That's right. Yeah. We just had that analogy in the last interview that I did.
Really?
We did.
That's great.
You got to put the oxygen mask on for yourself first before you can
Exactly.
help other people. So did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead. Click it. Go ahead.